Hi, having a great day. You're watching JUG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm ranking Marvel Phase 5 and Phase 6 by excitement, by my least excited project to my most excited project. After this past weekend, Feige went up to Hall H and announced all the and showed the whole timeline of Phase 5 and a little bit of Phase 6. So yeah, there's a lot of projects that he just confirmed and everything, and I'm super excited. To be exact, he confirmed 15 different projects for Phase 5 and a little bit of 6. So in between all those things, it was 15 projects. So yeah, for this video, I'm ranking it from my least hyped to my most hyped. But quick disclaimer before I get started: She-Hulk and Wakanda Forever will not be included in this ranking just because those projects are Phase 4, and for this ranking it's about Phase 5 and Phase 6. So unfortunately, Wakanda Forever and She-Hulk will not be included. The trailers did look awesome. The comic trailers that they released, especially the Wakanda Forever trailer, looks super awesome. If you want to check my trailer reaction, you can check it out in my channel, and I'll link it somewhere in the corner at some point in this video if you're curious. But besides that, I do want to give you just a quick disclaimer: they will not be included in this video. It's just Phase 5 and Phase 6, but those projects do look awesome. Alright, now let's start with the actual ranking. And at number 15, we're going to have Agatha, Coven, and Chaos. And this is by far my least anticipated show coming up for Marvel Phase 5 and Phase 6. I just think that it's a very kind of lame show, to be honest, from what I've seen, from what it just kind of seems like, and since the announcement. Agatha was by far probably one of my least favorite parts of WandaVision. I didn't think she was very interesting. I thought she was cool whenever she was Agnes, but once they revealed that she was Agatha and she went full villain mode, I thought she was very lame, very generic. She just wanted the power, and her fight scenes were not at all great. In the final episode, I thought her powers were really lame too. I just really didn't like Agatha in general. Like I said, I liked the Agnes part of Agatha, but the actual Agatha herself, not for me. Like I really did not like her. I do get what they're making the show. You know, they want to get the WandaVision stands and everything to watch the show, which I'm sure is going to be very successful at. But unfortunately for me, somebody who that part of WandaVision was by far my least favorite part of WandaVision. The Agatha magic side, the last 3 episodes was by far my least favorite part of WandaVision. That doesn't help me wanting to watch the show. I just think that this show sounds kind of extra, you know what I mean? I think it's very extra, especially when you see the rest of the slate. I think that show is very extra. So yeah, by far my least anticipated show. Maybe I say announce more stuff. Maybe I'm pretty sure Wanda's probably going to be in at some point, and I say announce more stuff. Maybe I'll get more hyped up for it, but for right now, I really could care less about it, and I kind of don't even want to see it, but because it's MCU, I will see it. Now we're on to number 14 spot, and that is going to be a very controversial opinion, but unfortunately that's how it is, and that is going to be Blade. And Blade is a character that I've never really gravitated to. I've never been like, oh my god, it's Blade. I do see like the cool side to him. I do think that he can be a really cool character. You know, he's killing vampires with his sword and everything. I think that could be pretty cool. And it seems like after the Eternals post-credit scene, we're gonna have also that guy from Eternals show up in this project and everything. So I can see how it's a little bit connected over to the MCU and probably gonna go on to Midnight Suns or something. But besides that, I never really gravitated towards Blade. First of all, vampires aren't really my thing. I'm like, okay, vampires are like, okay, vampires are really not my thing. And Blade himself has never been such a cool character for me. I've never seen the original movies either, which also doesn't help. So yeah, I was gonna say Blade is not my favorite character at all. A rumor that did come out kind of like a month ago about Anthony Starr probably portraying Dracula in this Blade movie, who is the actor of Homelander. I was gonna be super excited for that. So maybe I like, my anticipation level for this movie will go up after they announce that, if that is true. But as of right now, this movie is pretty dumb on my anticipation level, just because Blade isn't a movie that's personally sounds very interesting to me. But who knows, maybe once the movie comes out, it can be super awesome and I absolutely love it. Who knows, we'll see. Moving on to my number 13 spot, and that is going to be Ironheart. And Ironheart is a character that I barely know anything of, but I do know that, like, you know, she's kind of like the passing of mantle from Iron Man, which I think could be a really nice, interesting idea to explore. Who knows if that's the way they're gonna go, but I think that could be super interesting. I think I'm like, okay, that's really interesting, and we'll see how that works. You know what I mean? Iron Man is my favorite character in the MCU, so I think that the way that they could probably like do that respectively and honestly really nicely could be a really nice touch to Iron Man fans like myself. I think it could be pretty awesome. Besides that, she's gonna appear in Wakanda Forever. I've seen in the trailers and everything, so clearly she's also going to be like a thing before the MCU, and I think Ryan Coogler could do a really good job of choosing her to the MCU, and I'm very curious to see how she's going to build off the world of the MCU. Personally, I think that's going to be super awesome. So yeah, I think that she has a place in the MCU because clearly they're already willing for her in Black Panther 2 and then her own show, so I think that's why I'm more hyped up for this show, because I can definitely see the future that it's going to have in the MCU. Next up, number 12 is The Marvels. And The Marvels is a movie that I've kind of been mixed up on because, you know, Captain Marvel is a character that I don't think is like a super interesting character, at least from what we've seen in the MCU so far. She's never really caught my attention. I never really hated her either, but I'm just like, she's like in the middle for me. She's in the middle ground. I do think Brie Larson could offer pretty nice stuff with her, like in this movie, but so far she hasn't really done that for me personally. Besides that, Monica Rambeau is a character that I didn't really care that much for. In WandaVision, I thought she was like an okay character. Like she was a nice side character, but I don't know how much I really care about her own personal story. So we'll see how she ends up showing up in this movie, and how they use her powers and everything. But overall, I think by the end of WandaVision, she kind of came off of like eh. But the thing that does really get my drive for this movie is Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel is really strong after her show. I think her show was really strong, seeing her Kamala family and everything. So I do think that Miss Marvel really is driving my hype for this movie. I think that especially the post credits scene, whenever we see Captain Marvel and everything, and after seeing how much Miss Marvel was a fan of Captain Marvel, I'm like, I can't wait to see this team up. This team up can be really, really awesome. So really, what I care about is kind of that team up. But an aspect of the movie that kind of has me a little bit worried is from a lot of rumors from very trusted sources that the movie is going to be a musical. So the fact that that's going to be a musical is like, I don't really know how I feel about that. As two movies already, Joker and this, and I really don't know how I feel about musicals. I really like musicals, so I don't know how I feel about this movie being a musical. But besides that, my high level really is going to be driven by Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel having a team up. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm excited for it. And hopefully we get more action scenes with Captain Marvel because I feel like she really needs it. Next up, number 11 is Echo. And Echo is a show that I'm kind of curious on. I never thought Echo really was spotlighting Hawkeye. I never thought she was like, oh my god, look at her. I never thought she was like Lenina, where whenever she came to the show, she really saw spotlighting Hawkeye. I thought she was like, okay, yeah, she's a cool character. She's a cool side character. She's a cool villain. But that was pretty much it. I never thought that we really explored that much. However, I think the dynamic that she has with Kingpin kind of be like his daughter figure, kind of. And she shot him at the end of Hawkeye, kind of setting up the storyline of like Kingpin being blind and hunting her down. I think that's gonna be a really nice thing to have as plot wise. I mean, besides that, we know that Vincent D'Onofrio will be returning for that show, and Charlie Coster returning as well as Daredevil for that show. So that definitely gets your expectations really high up. I'm like, okay, that sounds really awesome. The showrunner for one of the Breaking Bad spin-off series is also going to be the main writer for this show, which also really helps. I'm like, okay, that's really, really cool. And you know what? I think it can be honestly really interesting dynamic to just have her being hunted by Kingpin and then Daredevil helping her out and everything. I think it'd be super, super cool. Another thing that didn't really get explored Hawkeye was how she was kind of deaf. I feel like we barely explored that, and also how she has like those like photographic kind of fighting skills. She can like copy moves, kind of like Taskmaster. So I think that would be really interesting to explore in her own series. So I felt like we were barely explored it. So yeah, that and her deafness make me also super cool to explore. So yeah, personally, the show sounds pretty interesting to me. Isn't like something that I'm super hyped up for, but I think it's pretty interesting. Now we're on to my top 10, and my number 10 spot is going to be the Fantastic Four. And the Fantastic Four movie is a movie that I'm kind of curious, and I'm pretty much like, yeah, I think that can be super awesome. The Fantastic Four has been done pretty wrong in recent history, especially with the Fantastic movie, which really sucked. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I'm kind of excited to see the MCU take on it. I'm pretty curious to see who they cast as the actors for each one of the members. And I'm pretty excited to see how the dynamic of a family works, especially like they can kind of pull it off right. I think that could be really exciting and really awesome. And I think the powers are pretty unique. Especially Mitchell, I think she has pretty cool powers. So yeah, I think that'd be super, super awesome. But to be honest, the main reason why I'm super hyped up for it is Doctor Doom. I mean, come on, Doctor Doom, why wouldn't you be excited for Doctor Doom? Especially with Secret Wars being announced, Doctor Doom's going to be a way bigger part of the MCU because he is the main villain of Secret Wars. So come on, that's super exciting. Just to have Doctor Doom introduced in this movie, it's definitely going to be super, super awesome. And I can't really wait for that. I really think that's going to be super awesome. The one reason why I'm not putting this movie higher is because Fantastic Four usually tends to be more towards like corny side and more like kind of like cheesy type of side, which I think is good for a certain sense. But personally, for me, I'm more excited to like darker stories. So that's the reason why I don't super hyped up for this movie. I'm like, okay, this movie is like anticipated, but I'm not like going crazy for it. Next up, at the number 9 spot, is going to be Captain America New World Order, aka Captain America 4. And this movie is, I'm honestly pretty excited for it. Number 9, I'm pretty excited for it. We already saw Falcon Winter Soldier. We saw Sam Wilson take the mantle of Captain America fully and fully acknowledge it and everything. We saw the whole plot with John Walker and everything. And I'm kind of excited to see where he goes from that. I think that they showed why Sam Wilson really is an amazing Captain America, like why he really deserves to be Captain America, you know what I mean? So yeah, I really like that. I think that that's a really good thing to portray in that show. However, the show itself wasn't that good. I thought that it lacked a lot of stuff, especially with the Flag Smashers. I think the Flag Smashers are a huge failure, and it does kind of worry me that the showrunner for that show is going to be the one that's the main writer for this movie. That does kind of worry me because I felt like the writing was a little bit kind of like either really hit or really miss in that show. You had the Flash Smashers, which were super weak, but then you had John Walker, which was pretty strong. You had like the racism plot, which was like I think pretty strong, but then you had other plots that were like super weak. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thought that the writing of the show was really hit or miss, and I do think that that's probably gonna be the case with this movie. Who knows? I'm very, very curious, but I am very excited to see Sam Wilson as Captain America and Anthony Mackie portray that and everything. I think I'm super excited for that. I think that's gonna be super, super awesome. And his suit looked awesome in this finale, and I think they could do some really interesting stuff with him as Captain America. So yeah, I'm just overall really excited for it, and we'll see where this goes. We don't really know anything about it, but I'm just excited for it. Sam Wilson as Captain America, why not? That sounds super awesome. All right, now we're on to my number 8 spot, and that's going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantamania. And this is where we start to get into the ones that I'm really, really excited for. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantamania is a project that I'm super, super excited for. I really like the Ant-Man character. I think Wasp is a character that's been really underutilized in the MCU, and I can't see more utilized of. And I think that they put Ant-Man or Scott Lang in a relationship petition after Endgame, after he reunited with his daughter, but now she's a grown up, so he missed all the teen years, and they really did say in the Comic-Con panel that they're gonna explore that. They're gonna explore how he missed all those teen years. So now he's gonna have trouble reconnecting with his daughter. And I think it's really, really interesting. Like, yeah, I think that's awesome. I think I think that's a really nice thing to explore. I can definitely see why that's a huge issue. So they have that. Besides that, she will also have the Wasp suit, as you saw in the poster. Here's the poster right here, in case you want to see it. You see that she has like the purple Wasp suit. So she's also gonna be part of the action. Besides that, they also said that they're gonna have a lot more time in the quantum realm, which also gets me super excited. Yeah, quantum realm time. And come on, we all know this is coming. Kang is the main villain. I mean, come on, Kang is the villain. I saw a little leak teaser that they showed at Comic-Con. Unfortunately, I can't show it here because Marvel would literally take this video down. But yeah, Kang looks like a complete boss, like a complete boss. He's definitely intimidating. I have no idea how Ant-Man's gonna deal with him, but good luck to him. You know what I mean? I really wish him luck. I really hope he doesn't die. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that. He's a really funny character. Scott's a really funny character, and Kang is such an intimidating character. And as we know, he's gonna be crucial to the rest of the MCU. So yeah, I really hope that they do him justice here. He really looks awesome in the teaser. And besides that, they're also gonna have MODOK. MODOK, a character that I'm actually also really want to be in the MCU. I'm like, yeah, he should be in the MCU. He's gonna be in here. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. So I think that all is going to work really nicely together. The only thing that kind of gets me a little nervous is Peyton Reed kind of directing this movie. He's been kind of iffy. I felt like the last Ant-Man movie was super lame. The Ant-Man and the Wasp movie was super, super lame. He did do a great job in the Ant-Man 1, but even that kind of felt like, it kind of felt super lower compared to the rest of the MCU. And even his episode in Mandalorian, the second episode of season 2, was okay. I didn't think that it was the best. I thought it was like, So yeah, I'm kind of iffy on the director. However, I do have faith on him after seeing the last episode of Mandalorian. I was like, okay, that was pretty good. So we'll see if he can kind of bring up the tables and truly show us what he's capable of with this Ant-Man movie, as it's way greater scope. You have Kang, you have MODOK, and this is the movie opening Phase 5. So this movie's got to be important. So yeah, I'm super excited for this movie. I think it's going to be great, and I really hope things are great, and I really hope Peyton Reed delivers, because I think he can make some really awesome stuff with this. And come on, more Ant-Man and the Wasp action scenes? Yes, please, come on. I feel like we don't get them enough. I feel like they should really have a lot more action scenes. So yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. Alright, moving on to my number 7 spot, and that's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that's because, first of all, it's the last kind of movie in the trilogy of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which gets me super excited, because you don't really know the fate of any member. You don't know if someone's gonna die, you don't know what's gonna live. I think that's super exciting. I feel like you don't feel that a lot in the MCU, so you don't really know, are they all safe? Because none of them are safe. So I think that's really interesting, and I'm like, yeah, that's super cool. Besides that, we saw that they're gonna explore a lot more of Rocket. We saw that they're gonna explore kind of like the origin, especially since I saw the leaked Comic-Con trailer. I acknowledge they're gonna explore Baby Rocket and everything, and his creation and everything. So we're gonna get a lot more character development for each Guardian, which is super interesting. Gamora's gonna come back as a villain, or as an antagonist, at least at the start. I think it's super, super cool. The High Revolutionary is going to be introduced into the MCU, which is super big, because in the comics he's huge. So yeah, that's really cool as well. And he's going to be played by my favorite actor from Peacemaker, so that's super awesome. And overall, I just think that's the fight is like the ending saga. I think it's going to pack a really emotional punch and take itself a lot more seriously than the others, which I think is going to be super awesome. The other change is my fact that something is going to have a lot of comedy. However, James Gunn comedy for me doesn't always hit. I feel like me and James going to have very different levels of comedy, like very different comedy senses. So that's why comedy usually doesn't hit for these movies, which is why it's not higher, because I know it's going to have a lot of comedy that I won't really care about. But besides that, I think the movie's going to pack a really hard emotional punch, and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully they don't kill Rocket. Please don't kill Rocket, please. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. Alright, we're on to my number 6 spot, and that's going to be Loki Season 2. And Loki Season 2 is on my number 6 spot because I'm just so hyped up for it. I mean, come on. Loki Season 1 so far has been my favorite Disney Plus show. I thought it had the best directing, the best acting, the best kind of well, maybe not the best acting. I think Moon Knight probably takes that. But the best like iconic concepts, the TVA, the variants, the time travel, all that type of stuff. I mean, come on, that's so awesome. How you have to investigate where to find this variant in time and everything. Come on, I thought that was super awesome. I had the mystery. We got the reveal of Kang at the end. I mean, classic Loki, all that type of stuff was super, super awesome. So I just generally thought season 1 was super awesome, and I think season 2 is gonna one up on that craziness. You know what I mean? I think season 1 had a lot of setup, and I think season 2 can truly grow up on that craziness, especially now that we had the multiverse. And with the cliffhanger, whenever he got sent to a different TVA, you know what I mean, where Kang is the leader there and everything, and Mobius has to know who he is and all that type of stuff. I mean, come on, that sounds super, super awesome. I'm so excited for it. We have seen already some set photos of it. We saw a set photo where Loki is like in a tuxedo and everything, as you can see in here, super fancy. Same thing for Mobius. And then we have another set photo where he's at McDonald's with Sylvie, which is super funny, interesting. So yeah, overall, I think I'm very curious for this show. It definitely seems to be super random and time travel and everything. And come on, just the multiverse is open now. Kang is gonna be the villain, and I'm just super, super excited for it. Come on, it's just more Loki. Who doesn't want more Loki? Loki's my top 5 MCU characters somewhere in there. Like, I don't know where it is, but somewhere in the top 5 he is. So yeah, come on, more Loki. Why wouldn't you want that? And just time travel shenanigans and investigation and crime and Mobius and Loki dynamic was perfect and all that type of stuff. I mean, why wouldn't you want that? Come on. And come on, Kang is there too. Come on. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you cannot be excited for Loki season 2. So yeah, that's my number 6 spot. Moving on to the top 5, and that is going to be the Thunderbolts. Now, Thunderbolts is the movie that's ending Phase 5, so clearly it's going to be a big movie, which, first of all, that gets me super excited. The fact that Thunderbolts is going to be that big of a movie, super exciting. Like, yeah, Thunderbolts, get it, Thunderbolts, you know what I mean? Second of all, it's a group of villains. I mean, come on, it's definitely going to be like a mixture of the Dark Avengers and the Thunderbolt team from the comics. I think it's going to be super interesting, because it definitely feels like it's going to be more of an Avengers team that's going to be kind of like not super good, but also not fully evil. I think it's going to be very much in the middle, as seen by the recruits that Bell has been getting, John Walker, Yelena, all these type of recruits, they have been kind of not even good, but also not evil. They're definitely very much been in the middle. If you want to know more about the teams that I think it's gonna have, go ahead and check out this video. I definitely went full in-depth analysis on that, so check it out. Whenever the Thunderbolts movie got announced, you should definitely check it out if you're curious. But anyways, moving on, I think that the teammates, especially John Walker, Zemo, Yelena, I think those are the for sure top 3 that are gonna be there. Those, first of all, that already sounds super interesting. I mean, come on, that could be super, super fun and super interesting. John Walker's my favorite part of fucking show. I think he really explored the gray side of kind of like the superheroes and kind of like celebrates everything really well. He explored how he was good, but sometimes he would let rage take over, and he had a big ego and everything. Same thing for Elena. She's very much in the gray side, and Zemo is as well. So all these characters are really much in the gray side, and I really think that this movie's gonna be a lot darker in tone, a lot grittier. And I really like that the movie's gonna explore the gray side. I think that's when movies are really at its peak, and especially when the genre of superheroes is at its peak. Just as you've seen with the boys, where they really explore the gray side. I think that whenever they explore the gray side of superheroes, I think that's where the genre is at its peak. So yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. Besides that, I'm just gonna have a lot of hand-to-hand combat, because these characters are like very much ground characters who fight. So yeah, I'm also super excited for that, and I just can't wait to see how these characters kind of merge together and like talk to each other and everything. I'm super excited. So yeah, super excited for this movie. I really can't wait for it. Alright, we're on to my number 4th spot, and that's going to be Secret Invasion. And how can it not be? I mean, Secret Invasion's got to be like up there, it's one of the most iconic storylines of any Avengers comic. And I personally first met it whenever I was watching Earth's Mightiest Heroes, with this animated show, which if you've seen it, you're super cool. I mean, come on, that show's really good. But at first, that's when I first got exposed to it, then I read the comics and everything. And honestly, this storyline to me really hits. It's really awesome. And I really like that they're making this storyline kind of into a show, because it really gives you more time to explore who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull. Because, you never really have to trust. And the Comic-Con teaser trailer they showed it there, that I read the description, and it really seems to be showing that. It really seems to be showing how Nick Fury is really kind of like paranoid, I think that's how you say it, about who to trust, who not to trust. He's interrogating, Rhodey, who's returning for this, and all his characters and everything. And I think it's really cool. It definitely seems to be, according to the description, kind of like a spy thriller, kind of like Winter Soldier, but a lot more like mystery and a lot more like intense. It definitely seems a lot more intense than Winter Soldier, which that's what I want to see. That's what Secret Invasion is. It's like you never know who to trust, and it's like this super intense thing, full of plot twists and turns and everything. And I think that's gonna be super, super awesome. That's a little bit of Secret Invasion. So yeah, that's why I'm super excited for it. I am kind of concerned for it because it's supposed to be like an Avengers level storyline, and this is definitely doesn't seem to be an Avengers level storyline. At least not that we know. So I'm really hoping that they don't mess it up. That's the only thing I'm really kind of nervous for. But besides that, I'm super, super excited. I think this show has a lot of potential. And clearly the show has to be good because they signed up some really good stars like Emily Clark. You know, she signed up for this project. So clearly the show's writing is really, really good and really peak. So yeah, I really can't wait for the show. I think it's going to be super awesome to just be guessing week to week who's a squirrel, who's not a squirrel. That's going to be a super fun experience. So yeah, I'm super excited to live that with every single one of you. Moving on to the top 3, and the third spot is going to be Daredevil Born Again. I mean, come on, that's so exciting. First of all, whenever they announced that at Comic-Con, the crowd went crazy. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of cheer, which was super exciting. But yeah, Daredevil Born Again. I mean, come on, that sounds awesome. It's going to be an 18-episode series with Charlie Cox returning and Vincent D'Onofrio returning as Kingpin as well. So come on, it's super exciting. Hopefully they return the rest of the cast, Foggy and Karen. I really hope that they return because I think they were really good characters in the series. But yeah, come on, that's super exciting. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited for a show? It's 18 episodes. So first of all, I break a 6-episode thing, which I really hate. I think 6 episodes is way too short. And I think episode is really a lot of time to really get really good character exploration and everything. And you know, we can get to explore the lower side of him, the kind of like Catholic side of him, the kind of like Daredevil versus Kingpin side of him. I think it's gonna be super, super awesome. And also, I really hope that the show can be TVMA now that Marvel Comics is TVMA and they added rated R content like Deadpool 2 and Logan to Disney Plus. So yeah, I think they can really go all out on this show, and I think it can be super awesome. And it'll be actually connected to the MCU, which I think is something super key to this show, and I think it'll be super awesome because now it can actually affect other MCU projects and have other cameos and everything, which I think could be also a thing to elevate the show from Netflix. Besides, it could also keep the same quality. So yeah, and hopefully that shot comes back. I mean, come on, he was super awesome in the Daredevil series. So yeah, hopefully he comes back. But yeah, super excited for the show. And hopefully Bullseye comes back. Because come on, he was super awesome in the Devil series. So hopefully he comes back. But yeah, super excited for the show. Alright, moving to my number 2nd most anticipated project from Phase 5 and Phase 6, and that's going to be Kang, Avengers Kang Dynasty, which I'm super, super excited about, especially now that they just announced that the director for it is going to be Dustin. I forgot his last name. I'm going to put it like right here. But he's the director of Shang-Chi. I'm super excited for that. I mean, come on, that's super, super exciting. Shang-Chi is my favorite Phase 4 movie so far, probably tied with No Way Home. I have to think about it more. But the fact that he's coming back to direct this movie is super exciting because that means we're going to have some super, super cool action scenes. Besides that, Avengers Kang Dynasty, I mean, it's Kang. That means it's gonna have time travel all over the place, and you're gonna have Avengers from all different time periods and everything. And it's really gonna be super interesting to see them fight and try to beat Kang, conquering the world. Because Kang is a conqueror, you know. And he plays very much like a strategy kind of game. You know, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see not just like physical fights, but the strategy fight that they kind of have to plan against Kang to be able to defeat him. Because you know he comes from the future, he has this huge advantage over them with future stuff and everything. So yeah, that's super good, awesome. He's also a way stronger character, and I'm pretty sure the cliffhanger is gonna be like them merging into the battlefield world. I think that's what it's called, battlegrounds, whatever it's called, I forgot. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the cliffhanger because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a huge cliffhanger at the end as well. So yeah, I'm super excited for this movie, especially just to see Kang against all the Avengers from Phase 4 and everything, and all they're gonna build up. And I'm sure it's gonna go crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, I'm super, super excited. I mean, that sounds so awesome, and the director makes it even more awesome. But my first place is for sure Avengers Secret Wars. I mean, it's Secret Wars, you know what I mean? It's literally the multiversal battle. The multiversal battle that got teased ever since Loki is finally coming to fruition, and I think it's going to be super awesome. I don't know if Kang's still going to be a villain, but I know Doctor Doom is definitely going to be there for sure, because come on, how can I do this with Doctor Doom? And you're going to have characters from all different universes. X-Men, Tobey Maguire's probably going to come back, Andrew Garfield's probably going to come back. All these characters going to come and battle villains and heroes working together to kind of save their universe. I mean, come on, that's all going to be super, super awesome. I love the chaos it's probably gonna have, and I love kind of like the really one in the lifetime team ups that this movie's gonna bring. It's gonna be a fan's dream for sure. Like, everybody's gonna go crazy in theater. I cannot even imagine the theater reactions. I mean, can you imagine? I don't know the team ups they're gonna have. It's gonna be super, super exciting, and I'm very curious to see how they're gonna pull this off. I have all faith in Kevin Feige. I have to see how he pulled off Endgame. So yeah, I'm super excited for this movie. It's gonna be the end of the multiversal saga, so it's gonna be like super epic. Definitely gonna have so much characters in it. I really can't wait to see this movie. It sounds really awesome. I really can't wait to see some really crazy team ups. I'm super excited, but we really don't know anything about it. It's still really far away. But it's only 5 months after the Kang Dynasty, so clearly it's going to have a cliffhanger at the end of that movie, and it's going to build up for that movie, and I'm super excited for that. But yeah, that's my ranking of the Phase 5 and Phase 6 from Excitement, from worst to best. So what do you think about it? Down in the comments, some of your own ranking in the comments. I'm very curious. Let's tell me your top 3. I'm super, super curious to read them. As well as tell me what you think about my own ranking on the comments. I'm sure you have your own opinions. As well as just leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It would be very, very helpful. So please, please leave a like. It really helps out. And subscribe for more content. Do you want to check out more Comic-Con coverage? Just click on the link below of my playlist. I have all the Comic-Con coverage from this year. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is Entertainment out.